The amount of seed used is going to vary depending on the type of seed that you're using. But if you're sprouting in a jar and you're using smaller seed like alfalfa, red clover, broccoli, anything around that size, you're going to want to use about a tablespoon. Get a heaping tablespoon in a jar. And as the size of the seed goes up, so does the quantity that you use. So larger seeds like chickpeas, garbanzos, lentils, or peas, you want to use about half a cup. If you're sprouting in a sprouting tray, a general rule of thumb is to just use enough seeds to cover the bottom of the tray. So with my sunflowers, I'm just going to dump a few in. And I want the bottom of the tray covered, but I only want about one layer of seed in there. You should soak your seeds between 4 and 6 hours. Just fill up the jar with a bit of water. And anywhere between 4 and 6 hours should be fine for all seeds except for seeds from the cabbage family, like this broccoli. They don't like to be soaked more than 2 hours. So most seeds soak them between 4 and 6 hours, but broccoli and other seeds from the cabbage family don't soak longer than 2 hours. If you forget to rinse your seeds, don't start over. It's okay if you miss a rinse. Just keep sprouting as usual. Sprouts shouldn't be grown in direct sunlight or in the complete dark. I usually just set mine on the counter away from direct sunlight. The one exception is mung bean sprouts. If you're growing mung beans, they do need to be grown in the complete dark, otherwise they'll develop a bitter taste. The growing time of sprouts just depends on the type of seed that you're using. Garbanzos, lentils, peas, grains, this crunchy bean mix take about 3 days to grow. You can tell they're ready when you see the little tail coming out of the seed. And these are great used in cooking or baking. Other sprouts take about 5 days to grow, like radish, red clover, alfalfa, broccoli. And you can tell that they're ready once you see the leaves starting to form. Shoots like these sunflower shoots and grasses like this wheatgrass take about 10 days to grow. And then there are other seeds that are slow starters, like dill, garlic chives, onions, fennel, and carrots. They take about 10 to 12 days to grow, and it might actually take up to 4 days before you start seeing any change in the seed itself. Now that said, there's no exact science to the growing time of a sprout. Just watch them as they grow, try them, and use them when you like them. If you're leaving home for a few days and you can't rinse your sprouts, don't worry, just pop a lid on the jar, or pop some plastic over the mouth of the jar, pop it in the fridge, and when you come back, take the lid off and continue sprouting as usual. Lots of sprouts have hulls on them when they're finished sprouting. Hulls are perfectly fine to eat, but if you want to rinse them off, it's really easy. Just pop your sprouts in a bowl, fill the bowl with water, and then just swirl the sprouts around a bit. Now all of the hulls have floated to the top of the bowl. So it's really easy to just drain them right off of the sprouts. Just make sure you're draining your sprouts really well when you do this. And it's as easy as that. No more hulls. Some sprouts, like radish and broccoli, develop an extensive white root hair system. So if you're growing these types of seeds and you see fuzzy white hair on the roots of your sprouts, don't worry, that's perfectly normal. If you look really closely, you'll see that it is just root hair. Sprouts need water to grow, and that's why we rinse them twice a day. But they don't need to be in water all the time, so it's really important between the rinses to make sure that you're draining them really, really well, because you don't actually want your seeds or your sprouts to be sitting in water in between the rinses. You just want to keep them moist. So I'm going to drain these quite well. You can give them a little shake, and that should be good. Sunflower shoots are one of my favorite sprouts to grow. They're so delicious, crunchy, big, juicy sprouts. But they're really best when the roots are grown in about 1/4 inch of water. So once you see the roots starting to grow through the bottom of the tray, just put about 1/4 inch of water or less so that the roots are submerged in this water. And the sunflower shoots will be a lot more crunchy if you do this. And another trick for growing great sunflowers is you'll notice they have hulls on them, and you can easily cut the sprouts off when they're finished and rinse them in a bowl to remove the hulls, as we did earlier in this video. But if you want, what's even easier is you can just stick a sheet of plastic over your sunflower shoots, and as they grow, condensation will form under the plastic, and that condensation will just help to remove the hulls, and the hulls will just fall right off of the sunflower shoots. If you're trying to grow carrot, dill, garlic chives, onion, or fennel, and it seems like they're taking a really long time to do anything, that's because they're slow starters. So all of these seeds take about 4 days before they even start to grow, and they're going to take about 10 days to grow completely. So again, that's garlic, chives, onion, carrots, dill, or fennel do take a lot longer to start than other sprouts. These are hemp bags, and they work really, really well for 3-day sprouts like chickpeas, lentils, grains, peas. So you just follow the normal sprouting directions. You soak your seeds and you rinse them twice a day. The only difference is you do it right in this bag, and then you just hang them either over your sink, or I hang mine just right over top of a bowl in between the rinses. And as you can see, after 3 days, you get a big bag full of great 3-day sprouts in there. Seeds like flax, cress, and arugula are gelatinous seeds, so they don't require any soaking. So you don't need to soak flax, cress, or arugula at all. And what I'm going to do is you can use either soil, good organic soil with some compost is the best, unbleached paper towel, an unglazed clay pot bottom, or baby blanket, which is a felted jute product that has the benefits of soil without the mess. So I'm just going to sprinkle the seeds onto the area, and you don't want them covering one another up just side by side, but you want a nice layer of them. And then I'm just going to spritz them twice a day. To store your sprouts, just make sure that they're fairly dry. You can check by seeing if there's any moisture at the bottom of the jar. And if you have a lid for your jar, you can just pop the lid on, or just dump them into a container, seal it, and put it in the fridge. And they'll keep in the fridge for up to 2 weeks stored this way.